Hi guys, thanks for tuning back in. After my last adventure, I felt the itch again. But this time, I found myself in a place where ancient cities still stand, where deserts stretch endlessly into the horizon, and where history isn't something you just read about, it's something you walk through. This is Jordan. Over the next 3 days, I'll be exploring one of the most historically rich landscapes on Earth. From Roman cities to sacred waters to visiting my third world wonder. Somehow, all of this is just a short flight away from where I'm based. So now, let's get to it.
Day 1 takes me just north of the capital and into one of the best preserved Roman cities outside of Italy. Let me take you to Jerash, once known as Gerasa, a powerful trading city that connected the Arabia to the Roman Empire.
I wanted my day 1 to be hassle-free, so I booked today's experience online, and early in the morning, my driver picked me up straight from Amman. So from the city, Jerash is roughly 30 to 45 minutes away. Just enough time to see the urban landscape fade into open land. It is then you realize that you're going somewhere completely different.
As you step into the ancient city, you'll be welcomed by this enormous structure called Hadrian's Arch, built nearly 2,000 years ago to honor the visit of a Roman emperor. Even before stepping inside the city, you already feel its scale.
And just beyond it, the space suddenly opens into the Hippodrome. This is a massive arena that used to hold chariot races, athletic competitions, and public spectacles.
As I looked out onto the arena, scenes from Ben-Hur and Troy started flashing in my head. The speed, the dust, the roar of the crowd. For a moment, it really felt like the past wasn't far away. As I walked further in, the city slowly begins to reveal itself piece by piece. With every step, I catch glimpses of columns in the distance, elevated temples on the hilltops, and the streets stretching far beyond what the eye can measure.
I could really tell how vast this place was, and at that moment, I just couldn't wait to see everything that was about to unfold.
And suddenly, I'm standing inside the Oval Plaza. The first thing that hits you isn't just the size, it's the shape. Unlike most Roman forums that are perfectly square, this one's completely curved, almost embracing the space around it. Over 50 towering columns wrap around the plaza in quiet symmetry, some of them still standing where they were placed nearly 2,000 years ago. This part really hit differently for me, especially if you've ever taken a history of architecture class. Seeing something you once only studied in books, suddenly standing right in front of you, it's unreal. Standing beside an actual Ionic column in full scale in real life, it honestly made me want to revisit my college notes.
You spend years memorizing these details in diagrams, and then suddenly, you're here, right in front of the lesson.
And from the edge of the plaza, one road instantly stands out. The street that once connected everything. The Cardo Maximus, the city's main artery. This street is lined with rows of columns and paved with stone. It once guided citizens through the heart of Jerash.
Now imagine it 2,000 years ago. Vendors calling, baskets weighing, and carriage wheels clattering over the cobblestones. See the sound, the movement, and the rhythm of the city in full swing.
Even now, you can spot the original wheel ruts carved into the stone, a subtle but powerful reminder of how carefully the Romans engineered their cities. Relating it to what we have today is like one of our major roads, say 5th Avenue in New York or Ginza in Tokyo, or our very own EDSA or Ayala Avenue. But instead of skyscrapers and traffic lights, it was lined with merchants calling out, citizens carrying baskets, and carriages rolling by. The rhythm of the city was alive in a completely different way. a mix of commerce, conversation, and movement that spanned the entire city. One detail immediately caught my eye: the cigar-shaped column shafts. Unlike perfectly straight columns, these light bulges, also known as the entasis, were intentionally designed by the Romans to correct optical illusions, making the columns appear perfectly straight from a distance. This moment honestly brought me back to my college days. I could picture myself sitting there in school, listening to my professor explain Roman architecture, never thinking I'd one day be walking through it.
You know, that realization alone made this experience hit so much deeper. And for anyone who's ever geeked out on classical architecture, these streets, they become more than just ruins. They become a living lesson.
As I continued walking, I spotted the staircase leading up to the Temple of Artemis. It's one of those moments where you instantly feel the scale of the city. The temple sits high above everything, looking over Jerash like it's still watching the streets below. I was tempted to head straight up, but something else caught my attention. From there, I just made my way back down the steps and continued along the corridor. And as the street unfolds, it naturally leads you to another incredible space, the North Theater. This theater was an important part of public life in Jerash. It wasn't just built for entertainment. It was used for gatherings, assemblies, and performances that brought the community together. This was a place where people sat, listened, and shared moments as a city. And as I walked up the seating, I found myself wondering what it must have felt like to be part of the audience back then. Sitting here, watching performances unfold below, surrounded by hundreds, or maybe thousands of others. And this is where the real magic happens. Even from way up here, I could clearly hear one of the tour guides speaking from the stage below. No microphones, no amplifications, just pure design.
I have read so much about how ancient theaters were known for their acoustics. And hearing it for myself, standing this far back, it made it all feel incredibly real.
After witnessing just how intentional every detail of this theater was, I made my way back onto the streets of Jerash. And as I move forward, I can't help but notice the towering columns of the Temple of Artemis watching over Jerash from above. I kept my visit to the Temple of Artemis short, but even then, its presence is impossible to ignore. This was once the most important temple in Jerash, dedicated to the city's patron goddess. Standing here, looking back over the city, it really felt like the perfect way to end the day.
After walking its streets, stepping into its theaters, and standing among its columns, Jerash no longer felt like it's something I only studied. It felt like I lived in it.
A place I've read about for years, and finally got to experience it in real life.
And with that, this marks the end of my first day in Jordan. Well, maybe not. So after Jerash, I headed back to Amman and strolled along the Rainbow Street, a vibrant mix of shops and cafes.
I stumbled upon a cozy restaurant and tried some of Jordan's most famous dishes, the mansaf and maqluba. The flavors were rich, aromatic, and completely unforgettable. Before heading back to the hotel, I made a quick stop at the Amman Roman Amphitheater, a reminder that even the city itself is steeped in history. And then, to cap the day off, I enjoyed a quiet glass of wine back at the hotel, reflecting on all the incredible sights and experiences of the day.
And just like that, day one in Jordan comes to an end. But this was only the beginning. In the next vlog, I'll be heading deep into the desert to a place where structures are carved straight into stone and into the vast landscape shaped by wind, sand, and time. So, I'll see you there.